Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. It is 2024 now and yeah, we're back with a new build. I know that I posted like on my community tab, I think it was like 10 days ago, like a little work in progress sort of picture for this build. And then I just kind of didn't update from there, and I should have done a community post just kind of saying that I was taking a little break. I wasn't going to take a little break, and then my family was kind of taking breaks and kind of hanging out together, and I felt kind of like left out, so I took a break, but I should have made a post, so I'm sorry about that. But yeah, we're back now and it's 2024 and yeah, we're here in a new year. So yeah, I made a community post as of like recording this today, just kind of thanking you guys for all the support that I've gotten on the channel. It's really amazing, like the amount of growth that I've had. Like I really didn't expect that many people to care about what I'm posting, so yeah, it means a lot to me that you guys are here and that you guys enjoy my builds, and so yeah, thank you for all the support. And I hope that you can all stick around for more videos in this year. Yeah. Also, if you guys ever want to like make a suggestion for a video, or like what you guys want to see on the channel, then you can always just comment it like on any video down below, or you can comment on community posts that I make, or like polls and things like that. Yeah, and then you can see what you want to see on the channel. But anyways, about this build, I actually got inspired to do this build from a photo that I saw on Pinterest, and it wasn't like the usual sort of photo that I would like take inspiration from. Most of the times it's like, you know, like some kind of like family house build, or like a floor plan or something like that. They usually have like a lot of them on Pinterest, probably because people use them for builds, or I don't know, maybe they actually do want to build these houses, but I'm assuming that most of the time it's because there's a lot of simmers probably saving it. But yeah, anyways, that's like usually what I get inspiration from for builds, but this one was actually like an illustration. I don't even know if it was an illustration actually. I think it was like a 3D model build, or it was like one of those, I see a lot of these like photos on Pinterest of like, I don't know what they're called, but it's like well, I guess it is like it's not like a 3D model, like a digital thing, but it's like a real life model that people make. They'll like do doll houses, or they'll do like these really intricate sort of versions of them. And they're really cool. I like watch videos on YouTube and stuff like for people building them. It's really fun to watch. But yeah, sometimes I'll see like pictures of that on Pinterest, and then I'll like save them, but I haven't really like built any, I don't think, that are based off of it, at least not for like the channel. But this one I think was one of them. I don't think it's digital. I think it might be digital. I don't know. Sometimes it's hard to tell. If I can find the photo, then I can put it up on screen, because I built this like obviously a couple weeks ago, so I can't remember exactly what the photo looks like. So I might be saying like it isn't digital or it is digital, and then it clearly looks one way or the other. But yeah, if I can find it, I think I had it saved, then I'll put it up. But yeah, basically this was like inspired from that. It's not exact, but I try to get as much like details from the photo in the build. So yeah, I kind of tried, but it's not going to be like 100%, just because of like what we have in the game, or what I could find in CC and stuff. But I think it's close enough with like the colors and things that I was okay with it. I actually tried to make my own like wallpaper thing for it, and it just didn't end up working out. I don't know what's going on. I've made wallpapers and things like that before, so I don't know if I just have like an older version of Sims 4 Studio, but I can't seem to like make wallpapers, and not even like patterned ones, just like the like painted wall sort of, excuse me, painted wall sort of thing. Yeah, without it like these lines coming up. I don't know what that's about. Like it's like basically showing like each panel of the wall, like each like one tile space. I don't know what that's about. I've done it before and that never happened, so maybe it's outdated and I need to get the newest version. But anywho, I couldn't use that one, so I just used a wallpaper from Base Game. I'm pretty sure it's Base Game. That suited the color close enough to the original. Like I said, like all the colors aren't exactly the same, but I tried to get fairly close. I was actually gonna build a different thing in this lot, but then I saw that picture, sorry. I saw that picture and I got really excited about building it. And I know it feels like I was gonna make it kind of more run down, I guess, just because of like the area around it. Feels like it would be like a little worn from like the weather and like the sea. That's like all around here because where the port is in Brindleton Bay. But then I was like looking at the picture and I wanted to follow it a little more closely, so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna make it, you know, kind of new looking. Maybe it was kind of like falling apart, the sea salt had gotten to it, and like the brick was like starting to erode or whatever on the building, and so then it was like recently like remade and like renovated and everything. So yeah, I think this place probably got like renovated over time, and so that's why it's kind of like very clean looking on this like sort of a little bit like worn in sort of area in Brindleton Bay. But yeah, that's what my brain was thinking. I was like, it's like been newly renovated for people to live in. Maybe it wasn't even like an apartment before. Maybe it was like some kind of like community lot, like or like a business lot, like maybe a warehouse or something was here, but then it got like abandoned, and so then they kind of like bulldozed it and then built some apartments. But anyways, that's what I was kind of thinking for this, because it does look fairly new for like its surroundings. One thing to note is that I do have Elevator CC. I've used it before on this channel. I think my first build actually was it used it. It was like an apartment building. So I do use it again. It's by RESHADE, and it basically just like teleports your Sims. It's like the ones from City Living. It'll just like teleport them to the floor that you're directing them to go to. So they'll just like disappear and then they'll appear on the floor that they're supposed to go to. And I know that the way the elevators are working in this apartment specifically with because you'll see like in a second, it kind of just like goes into like a mini hallway, but like the only door is to that one apartment. And I could have made it more realistic by having like a hallway and then multiple doors, and then like, you know, with other apartments. But obviously this lot's pretty small, and I was trying to do it by the inspiration picture, so it does just go into like a small hallway that is literally just for that one floor. I don't know how realistic that is. Every time I've lived in like an apartment, it's been like in a basement, so I don't know how like multiple level apartment floors work. But I don't think that's accurate. Maybe in some places it is. But I mean, this is The Sims, so we don't have to be 100% realistic. And the floor plan and the like surrounding area, like space basically that I had, it wouldn't fit that kind of floor plan. So I just went with it. But I think it still works, and I think this would be a fun apartment to live in. I did play test this, which I really do need to get better with doing with my builds. I feel like I don't play test them enough, but I did play test this one and it seemed to work fine. So hopefully no one else has problems with routing and using objects. But yeah. Another thing I wanted to mention was that this is obviously, I think, 3 floors, but I don't furnish the top floor, I leave it blank. So if you guys just got the newest pack for like the renting system and all that stuff, you could like divide that up and then have another apartment up there and like furnish it yourself. Or even if you don't have that pack but you just want to have another apartment up there and furnish it, then you can totally do that. But I did leave it blank just so you know, and you can you know, put whatever you want in there. I also put like that kind of garage thing. It was in like the photo pic inspiration, so I added the garage downstairs. I don't know if that's a thing that's very common, but if you wanted to renovate that space into like a general sort of common area, then you could do that too. If you want to have like, I don't know, like a lounge area or something with couches and stuff, then that could be applicable to like an apartment sort of setting. But yeah, I just went really simple with it. This is like one of those builds, and it happens sometimes. I think I've like talked about this, but like there's like some times when I'm building and I get like really into it, like I'm in like the zone. I get really in the zone, and it's like really easy to build. Like it kind of like flows more naturally. I feel like that doesn't always happen. Sometimes I really struggle with like staying motivated or like liking, I guess, like what's happening, like when I'm building. But this was one of those ones where I kind of just got in the zone and I was just like building around. I think it's like me kind of rushing sometimes building, but I didn't rush with this one. I took my time. I think also maybe having like that inspiration photo helps, because I can, you know, I have like a reference point basically, and I'm not like, oh my goodness, like I don't know what to put here, and like does this look stupid, or like maybe this shouldn't be here, the roof looks weird. Or I think it's easier having that like point of reference. And I didn't have one for the inside obviously, but for some reason it kind of like came out. It was actually kind of hard, honestly. The floor plan, I didn't know whether to make the room that you like enter immediately into a living space or a dining space, so it kind of took me a hot second to figure out like that floor plan and like if there'd be enough room for a double bed in the bedroom. But yeah, that's why there's like archways everywhere and there's not a door yet for a bedroom, because I didn't know where I was gonna put it. I was like, I'm probably gonna have to put it in like that back room because it's the only thing that really makes sense like for a layout, and that is where it ends up going. But yeah, I'll change that later. Another thing is this kitchen. I really like the way the kitchen turned out. I think it's my favorite room in this build. I really like the kitchen and I really like the living space, but I think the kitchen's probably my favorite. I just like how cozy it ends up feeling, and like with the light coming in, I think I changed the lighting eventually, but the light that comes in like through the window there is like so nice, and then you have like the leaves from the trees outside. It just looks so peaceful and like warm, so I really liked that. Yeah, I really like this kitchen. But also you're gonna see, I think I've used, maybe it's just in my personal game, but I'm pretty sure I've used it for a couple builds. Maybe it really was just the last build now that I'm thinking about it. But I'm gonna use that fridge from the KKB set, and maybe it's just like I'm just using it in builds and I'm noticing it, because I do think I only used it in the last one, but I'm obsessed with that fridge and it's like the only fridge that I want to use right now. So I just love how homey it looks, and it's got all like the things on it, and it just looks like lived in. So I'm kind of obsessed with using the fridge that I put in here, but I will try to broaden my horizons. Although I think I've only used it once before, so maybe I'll keep using it, but just for a little bit longer. Yeah. Anywho, I got this that little bike rack thing that I just put over there, and I really like that. And this like, all the clutter objects I feel like recently in CC sets have been really nice. Like I'm just digging the amount of clutter stuff that we're getting, because sometimes you'll get a set and there's like maybe a plant or like candles or something, but there's not a lot of like lived in looking clutter kind of thing. But I'm noticing, I feel like more and more there's more like clutter type things in sets and stuff for CC. So I'm really happy about that because I like obviously cluttering a space, and I like it to look a little bit realistic, not like 100% because this is a game, but you know, a little bit. I just like it to look like people live here and, you know, put things, little bits and bobs everywhere like usual. But yeah, I did change the lighting, so you're kind of seeing like the little bits of sunlight with the leaves and everything. I do end up being able to fit a little tiny like table and chairs in the kitchen, which I was surprised. Like, that's honestly the reason why I was like, let me play test this, because I don't know if they're gonna be able to get to the oven and like stove area, but they did it just fine. So I think that your Sims should be able to use everything. But yeah, I do end up being able to squeeze one in this really tiny space, and it functioned, so that was nice. But they do have like the other room that's off of like the living space as like a dining area. I think if like they had more people over for like dinners or something, or if they have family or friends and stuff, that they can use that like dining area. And you can also like put, I don't know, games in there or something if like you're having a reunion with your family and your Sim lives here. Because I do like think that this apartment kind of suits somebody who's single, or maybe in a couple or something like that, and maybe they're like freshly out of school or something like that. I don't know, that's just kind of like the vibes I got from it. Or maybe they're like still going to college, because you can do that in like gameplay and just have them live somewhere and then commute. So I don't know. Speaking of college and commuting and things like that, I know I've like mentioned a couple times on my channel that I am building like a personal save. I don't know if I'm gonna share it yet, because I am using little tiny pieces of like CC here and there. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see if I end up ever finishing it, first of all, because it's a lot of work. And then you're like making headway on it, and then there's a new pack released, and you're like, oh my gosh, there's another world, and then it gets like really overwhelming. But if I do end up ever finishing it and then uploading it, then I'm making like this like sort of university town, like a college town. I guess just because like in the years that I've played with The Sims 4 and had like my Sims go to university, they have to go to Brightchester or like Foxbury, but like the whole world is supposed to be like themed and based around like the UK, which is like really nice. And I like the idea of like my Sims like traveling for university and like studying out of the country. Because in my brain, I think I like think of the worlds and stuff in terms of like real life. So like Del Sol Valley is like LA, and you know, Brightchester's obviously like supposed to be in the UK. So if I have like Sims living in, I don't know, like Willow Creek or something, then I'm like, oh, they're living in the US, and then they go to Brightchester and then like they're traveling. So I wanted to kind of change that vibe for like my personal gameplay, and like the save where I'm building a college town in Newcrest. So basically all of Newcrest is being completely rehauled. I mean, it's like literally blank, but I'm like making it over to be a university town. So there's like a campus, and there's a fraternity and a sorority and co-ed housing and all that stuff. So I built like a quad, and you can see all this if you go on my Tumblr. I think I did a post a while back. I think it was like a couple months ago or something, and I posted a picture of like the outside of the university that I was building. So yeah, I did make a post about it, so you can kind of see a little take a little peek of what it looks like. But I did make that campus, and I basically just made it so that like when my Sims go to that lot, they can basically work on the skills for whatever they're studying for. So there's like a science area where they can do like analyzing and work on logic skill. There's like a sort of engineer bit where you can work on like the robots or like the woodworking table and things like that. There's like a whole gardening center thing. There's like a whole bunch of plants, you can do a lot of planting. There's like a theater downstairs for like a drama club. I don't know what it's called in university. But like for acting majors and stuff like that. There's like a whole downstairs that has like a stage, an auditorium, and like a dressing room. And then there's a music room down there. There's like a whole bunch of stuff. So like whatever like kind of sim I have and what they're studying, they can just like go to this like quad and like work on their skills. And then when they have to go to class, because it's like basically a rabbit hole, and if you're on a different lot, then it will just like take your sim to class. So I just made it so that they can go there, work on their skills, and then when they go to a class, they just like disappear and go to a class. So it's kind of like they went on the quad, but they didn't. Yeah, so that's kind of like the vibe that I've been building in my save, just to have like a little bit of a difference in like the university experience, I guess, for my Sims, because it's been a couple years and I was like, I don't know, sometimes I don't want like the storyline that my Sim is like traveling for university, and I want it to feel like they didn't have to like go very far for it. So I feel like New Crest is kind of a good middle ground, because it feels like it could fit into like the different kinds of worlds that we have. Not all of them obviously, but just like some of them. I think it'd be a lot to like do that for every world, like a desert sort of university for like Oasis Springs or Strangerville or something like that, but one that they just maybe travel 45 minutes to, I don't know. But yeah, anyways, I just thought I would, I guess, ramble about that a little bit, because it's something I've been working on for a little bit, and I'm actually pretty far into like finishing New Crest. I just have to do like the area that's by the water that has like the largest lot in New Crest is obviously the one where the university quad is, and then the lots around that is like the fraternity and the sorority, and then a cafe, and then that like strip that's on the like the right hand side of New Crest, with like lots right next to each other. They're kind of small, so I was gonna just make them like entertainment sort of area. I usually make the biggest part of New Crest entertainment area, but obviously because I'm using it for the like university part, that I decided I was just gonna like make the ones that are in a row called like the street. Like I feel like all the students are like, oh, want to go to the street, and it's basically like just like a strip of different stuff, like a bar and a club and bowling, things like that. So yeah. I'm running out of breath because I'm talking so much, so I'm just gonna take a little sip of water, listen to the music for a little bit. Okay, I feel a little bit better. I was like literally getting lightheaded. I need to take it easy. I'm talking too quickly. But anyways, yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing in New Crest. And then I have like a co-ed house on that upper part where it has like the really, really tiny lots. There's like 2 right next to each other, and then there's like 3 sort of like medium large-ish sort of lots, and that's just like gonna be little apartments and a couple like residential things that they could either buy or rent, maybe when like they finish university or something, they stay in the town, or I don't know, maybe like professors live there or something. But yeah, that's what I've been doing in New Crest. I still haven't finished all of San Myshuno because I'm on like the penthouses and it's a lot to furnish. I'm thinking about like splitting it up. I actually was literally like trying to fall asleep last night, and then I was like, wait a second, what if I just like turn one of the like penthouse things into like those like high-rise restaurants that are super fancy, and you see them in like K-dramas and like movies and stuff all the time. I've never eaten in one because I assume that it's like insanely expensive, but I see them all the time and stuff, so I was like, that'd be kind of cool. So I might do that. Or another thing I thought of was like, you know that one, I think it's in the fashion district in San Myshuno, there's that one apartment that is like 3 floors, which is like a lot to furnish and like think of like what you want, which is I think why the EA team just put like a pool on the bottom floor, because it's like a lot to think about like what you're gonna put in there. But yeah, I was in my bed last night just like thinking about what I was gonna put there, and I was like, wait a second, I could just do like an office sort of like studio space for each floor for like the different careers that we have in the game, because sometimes like depending on the career it'll come up with like a thing and ask if you want to work from home or if you want to go to work, and it's not even like the follow careers, it's literally just like regular careers. Like it could be the tech career or the like the style influencer one. Those like ask you if you want to go or not. So I was like, I could just like make each floor of this apartment like a different office space, so it's like an office like business building. One could be like, I don't know, your typical boring business sort of office with like cubicles and stuff. One could be for like interior design, so they have like samples there and it's like the office that like runs the business and that kind of thing. Or I could do a fashion and photography space, so they have like a little studio area and then the office space like around it. Or I could do one for the like graphic design, the graphic design career, where it's like really artsy space and like a bunch of artists for like a company or something like live there, or sorry, not live there but work there. And yeah, it'll be like a really artsy space and they can do all the like computer work from that area, just like different things. I don't know, I really like the working for like a fashion magazine idea with like a photo studio. So I think I'm gonna do that. I could do like a journalism sort of office floor because it's really just mostly computer work. I have like break room and a board room, and then just obviously with like the get together pack I could just make people like Sims. I mean, if it's like a save file I can just set Sims to be in that specific career and then be in a club with that get together pack like function, and then they could just meet at this office building and then do the work that they need to do. So yeah, I was thinking about doing that. I think that's a good idea, and I just thought about it last night, so yeah. I guess I talked through a lot of this apartment. I mean, it's pretty small, but it's pretty colorful. I kept all the walls white because I thought like if it's a rental apartment then you probably aren't allowed to touch the walls. So I kept all the walls white, but I wanted it to not feel bland, so I put lots of color in here. And like I said, when I was building it, I thought it was like a younger, sort of young adult sim that lives here, so I think that they're like freshly out of high school or like doing university or something, or maybe they just moved here out of their family home, and they're like on their own for the first time kind of vibe. So I think it suits that kind of you know, lifestyle of like living on your own and like being young. Oh, I did color this wall in the bedroom, so maybe they broke the rules, I don't know. And they painted the white wall a different color, but I just felt like it needed contrast. I forgot I did that. But yeah, I think I literally just put a stereo in here and then that's it for this build. Yeah, so I guess I'll see you guys next time in the next video. And as always, there is a link in the description for the download for this lot. And inside of the folder, you will find a CC list for things that you need, and as well as a list with the packs that were used for this apartment. And that's pretty much it for this build. I will see you guys next time, and I hope you have a great day or night wherever you are. See you guys next time. Bye.